So welcome YouTube to Rest of Design and part 7 of Project Donuts. So this project, this BMW E30 is taking up all of my time to the point where I can't actually do any other projects at the moment or anybody else's car. I'm just literally focused solely on this, trying to source parts on eBay and through breakers, and it's just taking up so much of my time, but I need to really focus on this to try and get this done. So in today's video, hopefully by the end of this video, I'll be able to get the tracking done and actually get some mapping done on this car as well. So in the last video you saw it passed its inspection, and as a result of actually going down there and driving it for the first time, I could hear the rear diff was knocking, and there was quite a bad humming sound from the rear diff. So this past week I've been trying to source a diff. I found a diff with the same size, because there's 2 different sizes for the E30, and I think BMW generally have 3 sizes as a whole. I think there's an 8, they call it an 8-bolt one and a 6-bolt one. So I was able to source an 8-bolt one with the same final driver as what's in this, because what's in this apparently isn't original. It's an LSD one, and I've sourced one which isn't an LSD one, but I'll come back to that hopefully at the end of the video, and we can see how bad this one is actually done when I strip it down, and if it's going to be repairable later on in this series of Project Donuts. But for now, it's going to get that sorted. It's going to sort out the downpipe, and also it's got hockey power. What is it? And also it's got hockey puck engine mounts. I mean, that is so 2000s. I mean, I was doing that in 2001. I think it was on a Mark III supercharged Golf that I was building at the time. And it's cool for the front mount, but not for the whole engine. I mean, even the gearbox mount on this is also literally, it's a solid beam. It's bolted straight onto the chassis of the car. So it's basically a buzz box, this thing. It really just resonates and shakes everything. All right, so we've got a lot to get on with today. So let's start with this downpipe. So I removed that small little, well, I think fairly small 2.5-inch downpipe, especially for the size of the engine. Okay, yes, the turbo is small, but it still benefit from going a larger diameter. I'm looking at the wheel inside. Don't know if you guys know, I'm not going to be able to see it in there. Definitely then it'll benefit from the 3-inch downpipe. Yeah. Also, the car was only hitting about half a bar, which was about 7 psi. So what I've done is I've changed this. This is a dash 31, and I pre-tensioned it, so it's should be good for about a bar now. So that's cool. See a bit more boost. And this is basically, after much cutting and welding and grinding, and yep, this is a like for like with the added flexi, and also instead of the 2.5-inch and even smaller around where the bends are, because obviously they've been in the machine, not mandrel bends. So that's all a mandrel bend of 3-inch to the 2.5-ish. So yep, that should make a nice difference in response, and also help keep the EGTs down, obviously because the turbo is fairly small for this car. Okay, so let's get this downpipe on, and then I can actually move on to the differential. Right then, so this is how it stands. The jacket's back on, the turbo blanket, sorry, and the 3-inch downpipe. It looks a lot better. It's quite close down there, but it does actually clear. It's just the angle that you see in it at is done. So all that left to do now is actually start it up and see if the sound has changed. Right, so we've done that 3-inch downpipe. I can't wait to hear what it sounds like. So let's quickly turn this on. Doesn't sound too bad. It sounds quite nice. It's got a nice little BMW sound to it. Once it's warm, I'll give it a rev. We'll take it for a drive. Hopefully if I get it done in time, so we get the tracking done, and also do a bit of mapping. All right, let me switch this off now and get back on to doing the diff. So like I said, the diff was quite noisy. I removed the oil and it looked like it was literally like a metallic paint. When I take this cover off, I'll show you guys. It's like literally I can rotate it. And that side's not moving. And also you've got the play along there as well. So what I'm going to do is, I got this one at a good price because it didn't have the back cover. Apparently these break as well. So I'm going to quickly just remove this one and then I'll show you guys what kind of condition it's in. And also we can definitely verify if it has an LSD in it or not. Last two, let's see. Also, this is, I think the bigger engine cars came with what they call the 8-bolt design, which is the bigger diff. There's also a smaller one which is 6 bolts. I think there might be actually 2 or 3 sizes, actually I'm not too sure, but this is obviously being the 6-cylinder, it has the bigger, heavier diff. Let's remove this and see. Now I can show you guys the damage. I'm interested to see myself. Oh yeah, look, you can tell straight away the difference with the diff compared to the non-diff type. And this is what I was talking about. There's all kind of metal filings in here. In closer inspection, the cover looks really clean, but if you see, if I get some of this oil on the rag, you can tell the colour that it is. You can kind of see it's got kind of flakes in it and stuff. So yeah, so the majority of the problem was obviously this. Ultimately, I'm not happy with this diff. It's not something I would actually do. I'd probably get this one reconditioned, but because obviously time is so short and I need to get this done as soon as possible, this isn't ideally what I'd want, and hopefully this doesn't actually make any noise either, because otherwise I'm chasing my tail a little bit. But it does seem like it's in better, it's got less play than the one with the LSD in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the one here on the LSD actually. I've said I might actually sell it, but I don't think I'm going to actually. I'm going to leave it here, and then maybe on my return, if I haven't found anything more suitable for the car, I might look into maybe getting this repaired, seeing what it's like cost-wise. I mean, ultimately, doesn't really need an LSD in this car for, it's just going to be a street car, you know, quick cruiser. It's not going to be, you know, a massive amount of power. That's going to potentially need an LSD. Obviously, it does help, but ultimately, this is just a shortcut. But I actually, you know, as beggars can't be choosers, and I can't. There doesn't seem too much option at the moment, so I'm going to have to go with this one. All right, so let's get this diff bolted on, so then we can mess around with mapping this car up and hopefully sorting out a few other little issues with it before its journey. Right, so I've got the diff all done, back on the floor. So now I'm just got my laptop with me today. Let me see if you can see, let me turn the polarized filter, there you go. And let's open up Tuner Studio. And it should notice that there's some changes. Yep, send current Tuner Studio settings, so sent. Okay, so that's sent. Let's crank it up now. Okay, that started up a lot nicer with those cold start changes that I made. So there you have it, guys. Got the tracking done, as you saw. Booted it on the way back. It's gorgeous. It absolutely drives really, really nice now. And the sound of it coming on boost, it's really quite nice. I didn't film at the tracking. The guys there weren't too happy with me filming, so I took a little photo of it. The results and the back I'm quite happy with, actually. They are where I expected them to be, with a negative camber with these E30s when you drop them down. The caster on the front is pushed way forward because it's got caster bushes on it as well as I think it might have actually E36 lower arms. I'm not really too sure. I'm not really too clued up on these E30s. It's kind of, I'm learning as I'm going along. But they adjusted the toe after putting those H&R coilovers on, which obviously were going to be out because it sits a lot lower than it did. And it drives really, really nice. And as you saw, the proof is in the pudding on that drive back. It really, really nice. Now, next on the list is to get rid of those hockey puck engine mounts and also get rid of the solid brace. So that's basically supporting the gearbox straight onto the car itself, because this thing vibrates big time, especially when you go up higher up the revs and you're on overrun, you come off, the whole car is just like this. So I'm dying to get those bits done and just put the standard bushes on. You know, it's nothing wrong with the standard bushes really, especially when they're new ones, they're good quality ones. So that's what's going to be next. But unfortunately, I'm not going to have time to do that today. So that'll be in the next video, as well as in the next video, I'm going to be doing some mapping with Tim because he's actually back. That's how long this has taken. He's actually gone on holidays and returned, and I'm still stuck here. But we're going to do some mapping on this because it's easier, obviously, with two people. I'm driving and he'll do the calibration on the thing, get this thing actually dialed in. Quite nice for my drive. And that's it. So please subscribe, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Click on the notification bell to beat the YouTube algorithm and be safe.